All right, let's go to the association. We don't talk about basketball that much, but it was a great game. Celtics Warriors, a rematch of the NBA Finals. They've already met twice this year. This is the second time they're meeting. It's now 1-1. The Celtics were able to beat the Warriors. They had a tremendous comeback in the fourth quarter and overtime, absolutely dominating them, going on an 8-0 run to ice the win for the Boston Celtics. This was a tremendous comeback for the Celtics. They were in the game. It's seeming that they were never out of it. Even though Jayson Tatum, he shot horribly. He had a double-double, 19 rebounds, the most in his career, but it was not a happy double-double. So I want to know what your reaction was to the Celtics' resilience in this game, because as we've been saying, the Celtics do not play the Warriors very well. This game was truly impressive to see.
Fantastic game.
Yeah, so what was your reaction to the resilience?
I wish I'd been there at that game. What a game.
Yeah,
you got your money's worth in that game. I'd say the Celtics won it on the boards.
Right.
They had 63 rebounds. The Warriors only had 47. That was the difference, really. They beat them on the boards. And, because they beat them on the boards, they had a lot of extra shots. And even though they shot poorly, Jaylen Brown only had 16 points, right? They still had enough shots to eke out a win, 1 point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jayson Tatum in the first half shot a grand total of 27% from the field. He ended up with, I think, about 33%. So when I say that this double-double did not feel like a good double-double. I mean, yeah, you got 19 rebounds. That's tremendous. It's your career high. You also put up 34 points, but you shot 33%.
Yeah.
And you shot under 25%.
Well, he didn't give up. He wasn't having a great night, but he didn't give up. He played.
Right.
How many assists did he have?
He had 6.
6 assists is pretty good. Right?
He also had, but the problem is, though, the reason why it also wasn't a great double-double, he had 7 turnovers as well. So this
and he turned it over 3 times in the last 3 minutes of the game, too, which is not too good. I still think he's the MVP.
Here's the problem with why I'm still not claiming Jayson Tatum. As great as he is, a superstar, he is too inconsistent. We've seen over the stretch of last year and even this year, he goes on games like this where they eke out a win, but it's such an ugly performance. 33% from the field, under 25% from 3. And here's the problem. Steve Kerr right now said halfway through the year, we're 500. There's got to be some changes. They played small ball. They didn't even start Kevon Looney. They started Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry.
I heard them. They only have 47 rebounds. And
that's the problem. The Warriors don't have a big guy there. The Warriors, when they won several titles in a row, they had Zaza Pachulia. They had Festus Ezeli. They had Andrew Bogut. They had these big guys. They even had JaVale McGee for a couple of years. They don't have many tall guys on the team. Andrew Wiggins, he shot the ball pretty poorly. Curry shot 18 three-pointers in this game, made 6 of them. And he had a chance to put the game away. The last shot of the game, wide right. It was such an ugly shot.
A pretty long shot, though.
It was, but it was such an ugly shot.
He hit one from half court there.
I saw that. It was the backside of the logo. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. They won the rebounds, 63 rebounds to 47. I think they also lost it on the personal fouls. The Warriors are the number 1 team in fouling. They commit the most fouls in the NBA. The Warriors, they foul too much. They shoot they're first in 3-point attempts. They're like 29th or 30th in twos because they play small
well, that's
ball.
what the Celtics didn't do so hot either. They only hit 22 or 30 free throws.
Right. But think about it. They shot 7. They shot 7 more free throws in the game.
Yeah, but the Warriors had 20 points on free throws, and the Celtics had 22. So there wasn't really much of a difference.
That's true
because of that. But the Celtics just didn't hit the free throws.
I mean, I'm taking a look at this Warriors team. It's in danger. It's very much in danger.
Well, maybe they'll make some changes. They can still trade, right? When's the trade deadline coming up?
All the time, and I'm not too sure. But they need to make changes. I mean, some of their guys, they're just not really that good. Anthony Lamb has his moments. Kevon Looney, I like him. He took 1 shot in the game. He's your center. He's your big guy. And triple single Draymond Green, he put up 11 points and 13 boards. He had a double.
Only played 20 minutes, Looney.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. I mean, he's your big guy. I guess they said, you know what, let's go small. Let's go with that death squad they had last year.
I think Draymond Green's not having that great a season, right?
I don't think so. I mean,
11 points. He had 13 rebounds. I guess and 9 assists. So he actually had a pretty good game.
No, it was a very Draymond Green-like game.
He's a -4 when he was on the floor.
Yeah, that's bad because he's the enforcer of that Warriors team. I mean, this year he's having a slightly better 3-point shooting year, which that's great. If Draymond Green is shooting threes better, that's amazing for them. But it's just the Warriors are playing small ball, and that's the problem. They're getting bullied. They're getting out rebounded, out physical. If teams have big guys that can get into the paint, the Warriors are screwed. If they don't hit their shots, I mean, Jordan Poole took 25 shots, made 10 of them. He went 2 of 10 from 3. Jordan Poole this year has been shooting the 3 ball hard.
He's been inconsistent.
Very, very inconsistent. And Jordan Poole is supposed to be the guy to replace Klay Thompson and Steph Curry when they retire.
Yeah.
And if you're shooting 20% from 3, that ain't a splash, brother.
That's for sure.
And then the Celtics. Malcolm Brogdon, I thought would be a starter for the Celtics.
He's off the bench.
He's going for 6th man of the year, and he's not playing that badly.
I think he's playing well.
Grant,
14 points last night.
Yeah, he was a plus 11 in the plus minus. Yeah. He led the team in plus minus, actually.
He did 7 rebounds.
It's impressive. 14.7 boards. Now,
I thought he was a point guard. He only had 2 assists.
He's coming off the bench. I mean, he only
played 36 minutes, though.
I know. It's just I think
he's a 6th man that's really a starter. Right? They play him 36 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, I think he's a tall guy, too. He's a 6-foot forward. He's a point guard.
I mean, Jayson Tatum played the whole game.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, he played the whole game.
48 minutes.
Well, he went to overtime as well. You got to put that into effect.
Yeah, that's true.
But Al Horford, he made 2 of the most crucial threes. He had a late game 3. It's, I think, put them up late in the 4th quarter. And then he had another 3, I think, in overtime to basically ice the game for the Celtics. So his 2 crucial threes, he only made 2 threes. They came when they needed it the most. And Al Horford in Game 1 of the Finals last year had that amazing performance. And
then he didn't do anything the rest of the series. So when Al Horford plays well against the Warriors, they win.
Yeah, I guess so. Robert Williams, he had a double though. He played great, 11 boards, 14 points. He was the enforcer of the Celtics last year. He led the league in blocks last year, which that's incredible. Marcus Smart had a pretty decent shooting day, actually, just under 50%.
That's good for him.
He shot 50% from the 3. That's impressive for Marcus Smart. He doesn't generally do that. Jaylen Brown had an off game a little bit, still able to get the win. Now, the Warriors, I mean, the Celtics, the way they're looking right now, they're the number 1 team in the East. They look very good. I think you predicted there's the rematch for this year, Warriors-Celtics for the finals. I don't think the Warriors are going to get there. I think the Celtics have a very good shot at getting there.
So do I.
I think they can go out, beat Brooklyn. I don't think it'll be a sweep again. I think they may go 5 or 6 with Brooklyn. And then the other key is, can they play defense well enough to outbody Giannis? That's going to be the big thing. In the playoffs, can you beat up Giannis when it comes to physicality? Because Giannis, he drives, throws some elbows, and tries to draw a foul in the paint. Yeah. That's the way Giannis plays. And then on the free throw line, he doesn't shoot that well.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the key for the Celtics moving forward. They do have a very, very nice 4.5 game gap between them and the Bucks for 1st and 2nd place. And then in the West,
I think the Celtics have a very good chance to get to the finals. I think it's a tough road, though. Right. Brooklyn is good, and so is Milwaukee. And Milwaukee probably in the championship for the Eastern Conference, right? So I think they got to play a little bit better defense if they think they're going to win the championship this year. And then right? Their defense is not as good as it was last year.
No.
Their offense is better, right? Aren't they the number 1 scoring offense? Yeah. But their defense is not as good as it was.
Yeah.
And I think that actually is more important, you know?
As I say, so defense wins championships.
If they could tighten that up a little bit and keep shooting the way they're shooting, no one's going to touch them.
Well, that's the great thing the Warriors had. The Warriors were a tremendous defensive team last year. They had Gary Payton, the mitten. They even had Otto Porter, who was, I think, a decently good defender and a decently good bench player. You lost them too. You lost Damian Lee, the backup point guard, who now is a great player for the Suns this year. So I think, the Warriors are definitely not the same team. Their defense has dropped significantly, and that's the way the Warriors actually beat the Celtics last year, was key defense and making your shots off of defensive stops. Jayson Tatum played horribly, and he's been playing horribly against these Warriors, and now he comes out, puts up 34-19. He's able to beat them. So I fear for the Warriors. They're the 9th team still, behind the Clippers and the Timberwolves, and they're tied with OKC, who they've hit a hot streak. So I'm nervous for the Warriors, but the Celtics look very, very dominant this year. It's a question of, can they go up against
maybe the
Denver?
Warriors will make a trade or two.
It's just a question of like
Maybe they could bring in another big man.
They need to, because how else are they going to stop? People. How are they going to stop?
They can't play small ball. I don't think small ball works against the Celtics.
It doesn't work against most teams.
They're big and they're fast. I mean, they play pretty well that way and against small ball.
I mean, think about the most dominant teams this year. Milwaukee has Giannis. He's huge. Joel Embiid for the 76ers. He's huge. Brooklyn Nets. KD. He's tall. Denver. Jokic. Memphis has got a couple big guys.
But how about the Warriors' defense, though? I mean, they played great defense against Celtics in the finals last year, right?
Yeah.
Not so hot last night.
No, and truly they haven't been. They've given up the 26th most points on defense. So teams are scoring on them a lot. They actually have less points scored this year than...
I wonder why that is. They have basically the same team.
They lost... I mean, Gary Payton, he was huge defensively.
Yeah.
They lost him. I think Otto Porter was a very good defensive player. And they just lost some key pieces. I mean, teams are they're average to below average on defense. I mean, some of these categories, like for instance, like I said, they foul the most. They have the most personal fouls in the league, and teams are shot obviously the most free throws against them. So teams are scoring on them. The teams are 20. They're 24th in 3-point percentage against. So teams are shooting the ball very, very well against this team. There's not getting many defensive stops this year.